Howdy. Right, we got our first like. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me make sure that you can hear and see me. Woot. Whoa. Whoop, whoop. What up? Oh, we're going to talk about what up. Oh, shish. Dog got in bad trouble earlier. He doesn't like the rain, and it's raining really hard outside. And he made a doo-doo in the house, which is bad, huh? Yeah. So yeah, he's a little whiny because he knows he's in trouble. So the part hang on, let me scroll back up. The partay can start. No, Pup didn't have a rough day, but he's had a pretty rough evening. He's laying there. He keeps going. "Hmm, hmm. You'll be alive in Truckee on Wednesday." Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, well, yeah, you'd expect that from Chihuahuas. Oh, this is a 90-pound dog. The hot fire. Yeah, it's raining. So, I'm working off a hotspot because I got rid of my internet because I'm supposed to be down in Arizona right now, but my sister ended up needing me here, and so yeah, I tell you, after what I've learned today, I'm not so sure I want to have that celebration in California. I'm thinking maybe a more neutral spot. By the time I get done, you may agree with me. Oh, we'll get to it. I just want to give people time to get here because it's just now 7:00. So a lot of people don't show up on time. A lot of them can't. They've got things to do. They're getting dinner over with and all that. So I ain't getting scared. I'll tell you what, though. This is probably the only. Hi, Esther. This is probably the only one that I've done that I'm the least little bit nervous about. So I'm still going to do it. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to pull any punches. But this has got we're finding out how deep the corruption in that area goes. Put it that way. And it goes very, very deep. A lot deeper than we may have originally suspected. Yeah, I don't expect them to do that anytime soon. The FBI. I've worked with the FBI before, and yeah, I'm not even going to go into that, but I haven't been all that impressed with the way they've handled things. So anyway, I'm not going to rag on them too much. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. I'm just trying to wait a few minutes to try to get as many people as we can at the same time so I don't have to repeat myself. So anyway, all right, I think we got enough people here to start. Let me now if I can figure out which one it is here. No, that's not it. Oh, here we go. All right. I want to share my screen for a couple of minutes just to kind of start this off, kind of explaining some things. You'll understand why I'm doing this as we get further along. All right. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here is what we call the I-5 corridor. Those of you who live in California, Oregon, Washington, you know fully what I'm talking about. Interstate 5 goes from the border down to San Diego to Tijuana. Well, actually, it starts at San Diego, right down there at the border, and it goes all the way up, actually past Seattle. But from Tijuana to Seattle is what I want to talk about. And then you can see the little star there. That's me. Automatically puts that there. That be me up there in that gold star. All right. I-5 corridor. Now, what about the I-5 corridor that I want to look at? I worked for the Oregon State Police in Medford, Oregon, which is just right about here. All right, it's about 27 miles from the California border. And we had a team, which of course it's kind of funny because the the headquarters in Salem, Oregon, came out with a newspaper article totally denying everything, saying we have never done this, blah 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 blah. I remember reading that article just laughing because it's like just flat out lying. All right, we had what was called interdiction officers. And those interdiction officers were specifically trained to spot drug smugglers. All right, generally, excuse me, the weather's been crap. I think I'm starting to get a little bit of a cold, so bear with me. Basically, what happens is the drugs come up through Tijuana, at least in this section of the country. A lot of them come up through Texas too, but anything going up from, through LA, Sacramento, Portland, Seattle, all that comes up I-5 corridor. All right. Now, what they do is they get these Mexican nationals or illegals a lot of times, and they tell them to take a car from Tijuana or San Diego or somewhere down in Southern California, and they take the car and they head north and they drive it up to Portland or Seattle. And the thing is, these poor guys, they don't know what they're actually doing. All they're told is you take this car up from here to there, and then you pick up another car there and you drive it from there back to here. All right. Now, there's several routes that you'll see drugs coming out of Tijuana. You'll see it going up straight up I-5, Sacramento, Southern Oregon, Eugene, Salem, Portland, and on up to Seattle. Okay. Oops, I went the wrong way here. Okay, here we go. Now, another route that they go is they go from Tijuana up I-5. They take off, and of course, another major corridor here is I-80. All right, I-80, and I-80 goes clear across. I don't remember how far it goes, but it goes across a pretty good portion of the United States. And so they'll go up through Reno. Now, sometimes they'll go through Vegas and go up that way. That's another route, is to go through Vegas. But a lot of times, if they're heading up into the northern states, they go up through Reno. They go I-5 and hit I-80 at Reno. Okay, now that is a major point here that we're going to be looking at later, or here in a bit. All right, another route they take is they take off through Las Vegas and go this route to Denver. And usually pretty much east of here, I'm not saying totally, but for the most part, anything east of here is going to come up through Texas. All right, you got a lot of drugs coming up through Texas. A lot of drugs coming up, probably more so there than anywhere. But you have a lot coming out through Tijuana. A lot. Okay. Now here's what the deal is: if they're going up I-5 If they're going from Tijuana to any of these destinations north of here, they've got drugs in the vehicle. So if they're northbound, they got drugs. Now, what they do is they go up and they pick up their other vehicle with the money that they're bringing back. And if they're heading south on I-5, they don't have drugs, they have money. But the money is always tainted. It's always got the scent of drugs on the money. And that's why you have these drug dogs. Now, the drug dogs not only sniff the drugs going northbound, they also can smell the money going southbound. One time we stopped, I think it was a carload of 4 Mexican nationals in a vehicle heading southbound. And the way they were acting made us kind of wonder what was going on. And so we had this was actually in Grants Pass, Oregon, which is north of Medford, between Medford and Roseburg. We had the canine officer, drug sniffing dog in Roseburg. So he happened to be on duty. We called him, started heading south. And so we made these poor guys wait. But so the drug dog got there and he hit on the car. So we knew that there was drug money in the car. As it turned out, what happened is they had $380,000 in $1 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills, and $20 bills. Found $380,000 in drug money in a false gas tank. We brought it back to Medford, and we had it there, and we were taking in evidence and taking pictures and all that. Believe me, you have no idea how much $380,000 in small bills looks set out on a table. I was amazed. It was something else, let me tell you. All right, so let's see. All right. Okay, so why am I saying all this? You can't see my screen? You couldn't see the screen? Seriously? Did anybody see the screen of what I just presented? You should have been able to see it. This thing, man. It said to present, said it was sharing it. Anyway, I'm not gonna go back over it, but crap. It worked last time. I don't know why you're not able to see it. Let me try it one more time. Maybe it just shares the browser. Okay, let's see here. No, it's not letting me do it. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. You should be able to see it this time. Okay, so let me start back where I was. Okay, I-5 corridor going from Tijuana to basically they don't go any further north than Seattle because there's no real towns of any size. Well, I guess maybe Everett, but generally it's Seattle up in that area. All right, so then you've got going up I-5, cutting over on IE to Reno and beyond, and then going up through Las Vegas, which you can't see. Las Vegas over here somewhere. Going up this way, like to Denver. All right. And like I said, if they're going north, they've got drugs. If they're going south, they got the money. Show me the money. All right. It's a basic rule. You'll never see them going south with drugs. You'll never see them going north with money. They're always going north with money always going south with drogas or money. But south with money, north with drogas. All right. So, okay. So you didn't see it that time either? Man, I don't know. I don't know what's this thing. It should be. It worked last time that I did it. Oh, was it? Okay. Okay. Now, why do I bring this up? Ah, get out of here. I hate this thing. I hate the way Windows used to be so easy. All right. Now, why do I bring this up? All right, let me bring up a couple of things first. All right. Now, some interesting things, and I don't know if this has anything to do with anything or not, but Kylie was in Mexico with Mags, which you probably already know that, a week before the party. Whether that has any bearing, I'm still looking at. There's a lot of stuff I still need to look into. Okay. Well, I can't look at the chat and look at the screen at the same time. When I have to minimize my when it shares screen and I'm trying to show these full screen pictures, I can't see the chat. So now I don't know if it's trafficking or not, but here's the deal. Okay. Now, basically what and this is all information from people that know what they're talking about. Okay. This is stuff that's been verified, people that have intimate knowledge of things. Okay. So apparently Kylie was with Mags in Mexico. She came back and hooked up with Jagger. Apparently, when Sammy had the meetup with the teens, that apparently they had it at Grandpa's trailer, and supposedly the FBI had it bugged. Yeah, apparently it didn't do any good to do that. I don't know if they acted on anything or what, but they're supposedly they had it bugged. Okay. Also, the FBI was asked about Nick, the tow truck driver, and about the footage, and they said that it didn't exist. So one of three things: either Nick lied to AWP, or that Jared had said that the company that Nick worked for had locked it up. So either Nick lied to AWP, or the company locked it up, told the cops it didn't exist for liability reasons or whatever, or the FBI was lying. One of the two. One of the three. Two's the new three. So said it didn't happen, or said it didn't happen, or didn't exist. I don't think Nick was lying either. His body language, like I said, I watched it. I don't know how many times that I'm looking and I'm watching how he's acting. I'm watching his body language, his eye movements, tone of voice. I don't think he was lying. I think the FBI's lying, to be honest with you. Now, this is something that SF Investigates said, that Nick was shown a picture and that he identified Jagger. Now, how true that is, since it came from SF Investigates, I don't know. But he said that Nick identified a picture of Jagger. So who knows? It could be any number of things. Yeah, he was to me too. He came across as is truthful to me. But FBI is saying footage didn't exist. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. Because why would you say that footage was that the cameras took footage when it could be easily proven wrong? It just doesn't make any sense. So no footage. Now I'm looking at my notes here that I scribbled. Also, if you haven't watched Squirrel Girl's videos about the dogs, the only thing that they used was an air scent dog. They had access, Nevada County Search and Rescue had access to 20 different dogs. They could have had a water dog that could smell things underwater. All these different things, all these different avenues they could have taken, and they didn't bother. All they said was, and the guy at the press conference says, we just used what we have. That's total crap. They had 20 different kinds of dogs they could use, and he's trying to say at this press conference, we only used one dog, which was an air scent dog. And he said, well, we couldn't pick up enough scent for a bloodhound to follow a trail. That is the biggest bunch of crap. Anyway. Now, why did I mention the route coming up from Tijuana with the drugs? And that they go through Reno. Well, I'm going to tell you why. And this is a person with absolute firsthand knowledge of this. There's actually 3 people that have firsthand knowledge of this. And conveniently, 2 of them, a girl named Emma and another one named Alicia, somehow mysteriously end up incarcerated. And they're both in jail right now for unknown reasons. Now, the person who provided this information is not in jail, but that person has some dirt on people, and so probably why they're not. But this is hard for me to say, people, but it's this person knows what they're talking about. The biggest drug dealer in the area was Shannon Moon. The other one, now you ever noticed when they would hold press conferences that Shannon Moon would have Sam Brown, who was over the jail, a lot of times making the statements. Sam Brown was in charge of the jail. Now, I don't know for sure when they were placed in jail, but they're in there now. Shannon Moon was the sheriff of Nevada County. Now, what they were doing is the drugs were coming up from Tijuana, and on their way to Reno, they were making a pit stop at Truckee, or at wherever the county seat is of Nevada County. And what they were doing is, well, I don't think she is now. I think Sam Brown's the sheriff now as of the election, I believe. But she was the sheriff when Kylie went missing. Okay, the election took place on November 8th. So what they were doing is the drugs were coming. I thought that Sam Brown was the sheriff now, but from what I was reading, but maybe not. Yeah, I know, but you know what? If we're going to blow this thing open, somebody's got to step forward, That's why I'm saying I'm really thinking that we should hold a celebration in the concert somewhere else other than California. Yeah. But what they were doing was that they were bringing the drugs to the jail, and then they were being distributed from the jail. And so both she was in on it and Sam Brown was in on it. Now, here's what this person and I are thinking is that the biggest reason for the cover up with Kylie and trying to get it swept under the carpet and ignored as fast as they could was because the drugs being supplied at that party, and by the way, that Nate C, who that the 15-year-old girl died as a result, and it was said that he was arrested. I've been told he has not been arrested. He's been put in protective custody because he's one of their dealers. I know. I thought that Sam Brown was elected sheriff on November 8th, but she might still be. All right. So basically, they were the biggest drug runners in Placer and in Nevada counties. This comes from a person who has very intimate knowledge of this operation. So we wonder why the cover-ups. Well, yeah, and then of course Wayne Wu. Why would you have a child molester as a sheriff? Only in that area. Because the person who gave the information was directly involved with it. There's a lot more information that I have that I can't really release due to Wayne Wu. Woo woo. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Wayne Wu is the sheriff of Placer County. When he was a sergeant, he was having sex with an underage girl that was on a ride-along program. A lot of these areas, I know we used to have it too, where they had a ride-along program where they could ride with an officer and see how things worked and all that stuff. All right, so I mean, to me, that's pretty low down that you would have sex with an underage girl that is on your ride-along program. So I've already spilled it. Now, here's another thing, and I have not confirmed this. I have just heard reports. Is that Salisha Singh? And I don't know how much truth there is to this, but I did see something where they said that two men, or that Kylie showed up to their place with two men. And again, I don't know. I'm still looking into this. I haven't confirmed this. I'm just telling you what I've heard. That she showed up there with two men and wanted to rent their basement. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah. Now, basically, what my understanding is that there was marijuana, there was cocaine, there was fentanyl. I'm trying to think what the other one was. But basically, all of that was going and being distributed from the jail. So I don't know if the rent thing is true, but it sure is kind of coincidental that all of a sudden that family ended up dead. And they tried to make it look like it was something over money that was owed to this other guy. So I don't know. Like I said, there's still a lot of things I need to look into, but I'm just kind of reading through the comments here. No. Kylie wasn't the ride along. No. This was somebody else, and they actually continued to have this little affair there for a while until his wife found out. Put the kibosh on that. Now, yeah, I've seen that too. In fact, I got a hold of him. I want to collaborate with him and maybe a couple of other people on this stuff because. Oh, really? Yeah. See, and the only thing I can think of, and this is just conjecture on my part, the only thing I can think of is were the Singhs killed because they could identify who it was that was with Kylie. I don't know. Again, that's just conjecture on my part, but I'm trying to make sense of all this, just like you guys are. But the fact that the drugs are going through Nevada County Sheriff's Office and being distributed from there. Oh yeah, I'm turning it over to the DOJ, but the thing is, I have to be able to give them a name. All right, until this person wants to step forward and give a name, I've got to keep it secret. So, but if I do get them involved, I'm sure that this person would want to cooperate. But now this Singh family that was because a lot of people are connecting this with Kylie in some way. And the thing is, this kind of shows why they tried so hard to cover everything up. And I don't think that it was just because of what happened with Kylie. I think there was a lot more to it. I think that they're trying to get it swept under and call it an accident because they don't want any outside agencies looking into this. Because let me tell you, you get these outside agencies, get the DOJ and the AG's office and all that looking in to the drug running that the sheriff's office is doing. Well, you're talking about a shite storm, big time. Well, I would trust my contacts with DOJ because I know them personally, and I know that they're good people. Now, not every office. I wouldn't trust every office, but well, I think partially they were protecting the kids, but I think there's more to it than that. I think they were protecting their own butts as much as they were the kids. Yeah. JM, that's exactly right. And that's exactly why I think that it would not be a good idea to have the concert and all that stuff there in California. No, I don't think Sammy's clean at all. Because I'm still trying to figure out how all she fits into this. But I still think that something happened because just like Doug with AWP said in that one video where he's talking about that the scuttlebutt was that Kylie got in a fight with, and of course they bleeped it out so you couldn't see what he said, but I guarantee you, it don't take much to figure it out. And she's always been my prime number one as far as that goes. And I think too that just like you're saying with the tourist income, they're trying to, like they've done with so many, trying to protect their tourist dollars. That's why they've swept so many others under the rug, because they're trying to protect the tourist dollars. No, but the other ones, the family of 4 are dead. So I don't know, and I don't know if there's a connection, but some people have said there is. Like I said, I haven't looked into it really. I just started kind of looking at it today. I don't know if she's related to them. Like I said, I haven't really had time to really look into it. And that's what I was talking about today with the person, is that everything that people have found, people arguing with him, that's okay. But everything that people have found shows Sammy's 24. And her twin brother's 24. But it just seems like every time we turn another corner, it just gets crazier and crazier. It just gets crazier and crazier every time. Now the family, the Sink family that got killed, they were just south of there. The ways. South the Merced is south of Stockton. Just right off of I-5 there somewhere. That's Ray Ready Whip. Hey, I'd go for that. I wouldn't mind having a thing of Ready Whip right now and just, yeah. I would kind of like some ice cream, like a banana split to go with it, and take some Ready Whip and put it on there. No, it's not a BS conspiracy theory. People have found documents. They found documents. So if you don't want to believe it, that's fine. Don't care. No skin off me. But I know that people have found documents and they showed them to me. She's listed as being 24. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you. We're just trying to piece it all together. Can of frosting. Hope it was chocolate. Hope it was chocolate frosting. But I can't help but think that, because they were talking about these older guys with these drugs at this party, distributing it. Man, knowing where the majority of drugs in that area come from, of course they're going to be covering their butts. But regardless how old Sammy is, I still think that there's a reason that she had scrapes all over her legs. And and Patty, that's, to me, I actually thought of that myself. Or to run interference. And that's the thing too. I haven't seen any evidence of a party, and I still, be honest with you, somewhat have a suspicion that might not have been Kylie in that car. If it was, why didn't they identify her by DNA? Why they, of course, they said they couldn't by fingerprints, but they could still do it by DNA and dental records. But they didn't bother to do that. They identified her by deputy walking in there, go, "Oh yeah, that's her." After they said that her face was too decomposed to be able to recognize her. Yeah. See, there's just too many inconsistencies, too many questions, too many things that don't make any sense. Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with Mags. Okay. Why did she get Kylie to take her to the party if she was going to leave 10 minutes later with her boyfriend? Why didn't her boyfriend just take her? See, that makes absolutely no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. You know, why would she, if her boyfriend was going to, and her were going to leave 10 minutes later, why didn't she just meet her boyfriend and have her boyfriend take her? You know, I don't know. Ross, her boyfriend? I have no idea if he was or not. But well, the thing is, if they said, "Yeah, release it," but there's no footage according to the FBI. Well, no, they could still release the footage of the rest of the interview and also the rest of the interview with Kylie's dad and grandpa that they were hyping. But no, I don't believe that either, Mrs. Kelly. I think it's just story. And I always thought that's what the teen meetings were for, was to like develop a narrative so everybody would tell the same story. But well, I think that what I believe is for people to scatter like they did and tell their kids not to talk and not to get involved, there had to be something happened. And whether the bruises, and like I've said this several times, Sammy had a bruise. I think it was right here. It was right below the elbow on the inside. And you're not going to get that from a friendly fight. What those bruises come from is, when you ask any law enforcement officer where that bruise comes from, they'll tell you the same thing as me. That comes from a struggle, somebody holding their hands out trying to hold somebody off. Well, the locals believe that Jagger and Lindsay got a thing. So that, Lori, hope you did too. So yeah, she had bruises all over that she tried to cover up with paint, which made it even seem more suspicious and more obvious. It's like, probably wouldn't even have noticed it as much if she hadn't had white paint all over it, trying to hide it. You know, and I believe that Lindsay knew from the start, and that's why she was so mad when AWP was coming, because she knew they were going to find her. Because she was pushing the abduction narrative, getting on TV and, "Oh, please bring my daughter back," you know. And then as soon as she heard AWP was coming, she was ticked off and pulled the reward money. Yeah, she had all kinds of bruises and stuff, but to me, that's why she brought up the friendly fight thing in that one interview, to try to explain away how she got all the scrapes and cuts and bruises, you know. Yeah. Well, SF Investigate said that Lindsay provided the alcohol, which is why, you know, Sammy had said they were going back to her car to get more alcohol. But Tanner's Sammy's brother. Tanner, Sammy's twin brother. But yeah, Everett is. It's I used to live. Well, I used to live in Anacortes, and actually I lived in Anacortes, and then later I lived in Federal Way. So yeah, I'm very familiar. I'm very familiar with Everett. It can be a pretty bad area. That area there, the whole area there. Yeah, we used to go to Everett and then go to Mukilteo and go across on the ferry. And yeah, she had all kinds of things. She had this stuff on her legs, but she could have also gotten a fight, or she could have gotten that sliding out too. So I mean, there's just too much to implicate her having some involvement, because I guarantee you, if it was an accident, these kids wouldn't have taken off in a mass exodus, and their parents wouldn't have be telling them don't get involved. If it was just an accident, what would there be to hide? You know, yeah, she had white paint all over the place. Trying to, I kind of actually laughed when I saw that. I'm like, this would be a little bit more obvious there, Sammy. Yeah, but the kids aren't going to the kids aren't going to scram like that if they're not involved. They're going to be like, "'Cause I know how we were. It's like something happened. It's like, I didn't do anything to do with it. Wouldn't worry too much about it. You know, but for all the kids to take off like that, it would have to be something of major proportions. So then I don't think there's anything really that would explain that than something like them getting in a scuffle or whatever. And it's like I think it was like last night I was talking about that the first murder that I investigated at this one police department I went to work at was the two guys got in a fight, and the guy punched the guy, accidentally. It was accidental, but he punched him in the throat and crushed his windpipe, and the guy couldn't get in the air, and he ended up dying. you know and you know you go to swinging at somebody and you miss their face, or they duck, or they turn their head back, or something like that. It'd be very easy to punch them in the throat, crush their windpipe. Well, to me, from the very beginning, and I still say this, I still believe this, that anyway, I got I lost track of what I was going to say. I start reading the chat. Uh, no, actually, the breaking news we were talking about, that the drugs in the area, what I've been told, and this is from somebody who had involvement with this, knows what they're talking about, that the drugs basically are run up from Mexico, and they are received at the jail and then distributed from the jail in Nevada County. That Shannon Moon and Sam Brown have been running the operation. Now he earns 300,000. We were looking at that the other night. He owns his he 200. It was 299,000 and change. All right, Barbara, you have a good evening. Yeah, then the petition, I don't know, is there a petition on Sam Brown? I haven't seen that. I've seen one on the Hawkins guy, who's was covering for his son. But I don't know why would the cartel kill her though? The cartel is, of course, we all know the drugs come, they're run up by the cartels, you know. And Sammy had been to Mexico with Mag's family a week before the party. And like I say, I don't know if there's any connection there, but it just kind of coincidental. I don't know. Yeah, Truckee cartel. But yeah, but that's what the person who has informed me has direct knowledge of this and involvement in this, and therefore the person does not want their name. No, I said she was in Mexico with Mags. I don't know. Did somebody say it was with Sammy? She was there with Mags' family. But I don't know if what Kylie would have seen in Mexico though. I mean, if they were there just on vacation or whatever, you know, unless the family had some involvement in it. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't seen where the family, but I don't know. Have you seen Mags's mom? She I'm not going to say anything, but no, Mags is younger. Mags is 17 or whatever, 17, 18, whatever it is, 16, 17 or 7, I don't know. But I know Mags isn't 24. But yeah, look how much younger these other kids look than Sammy. Just saying. Well, yeah, she left her alone at the party, but again, I asked the question: why did she have Kylie take her to the party when her boyfriend was there? You know, Mags is really the only one I saw show genuine emotion. There were some other people saying, "Oh, she's shedding crocodile tears." No, Mags was shedding real tears. You can tell. But I didn't see anybody else crying. You know, yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I don't understand. They were talking about all these be real pictures that everybody took. I don't know if Kylie was or not. I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot that we're never going to know, you know. But the girls, well, there's two girls that were jailed, and I don't have the person wouldn't give me the last names. They just said that one of them was named Emma, and another one is named Alicia. And there are two people that can verify it, but they somehow ended up incarcerated, inquieted. So, and it might have been Kylie maybe found out something. Maybe she did. Maybe she saw some transaction or something, or saw somebody there that she recognized that was law enforcement. I don't know. It's all speculation as far as that goes because we don't know. No, it didn't begin. I could tell from the very first time I watched the video. The very first time I watched the video, I said from the very beginning, they're already going to rule this an accident. I could just tell by the way they were handling it. Yeah, and I still believe that Zanime was involved in some way. Still believe she was involved some way. Yeah, I mean, there. It doesn't matter what happens. These people, this law enforcement community is going to cover things up because if they were the ones disseminating the drugs at this party, of course they're gonna cover it up for the kids involved. And I think since Sammy was the one that set the party up, I think she's involved in the whole thing. And that could be another aspect to it that maybe Kylie was they got mad and Kylie was going to rat on her and for her involvement in all this, so you never know. But to me, the biggest lead. Oh, you talking about Diane? Or are you talking about Tony? Tony Baloney? Why is Ellie selling drugs here? Because they can make money. Because it's a big time money making operation. Same way you see crooked cops selling drugs in other areas. I mean, how many instances have you seen where law enforcement officers were taking drugs from evidence, selling it on the street, and they ended up getting busted? I've seen a bunch of those cases. Seen a bunch of those cases. Well, my mouse just died on me. Well, what do I do with my other one? No, there it is. All right. Oops. I guess it would help if I turned it around the right way. There we go. No, Celicia isn't, but the other people, which people are saying, that family of 4 that got killed, that got murdered, were saying that no, no, got a mouse. No, my dog could get it though. If there was a mouse that got in here, he'd get it. He'd jump on that sucker like, you know. Uh, but people, I'm gonna be right back. Speaking of doggy, he needs to go out. So give me a second here. There we go. You can probably hear him slopping water over there now. I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. Give me a second here. Okay. Diane, I agree with you that I'm still concentrating on the original players, because I think that there was the original players at the beginning, and then we started having all these diversions and people coming out of the woodwork telling stories, and which generally what you see at the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, he's thirsty. Yeah, he goes through so much water, it's unbelievable. Don't you? Hey, you go through a lot of water, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah, the Truckee Way is something else, man. But I don't think she got tested for anything that would, I don't know, like they didn't even test for synthetic fentanyl. They only tested for the prescription, which is stupid. You know, it's gonna be the synthetic that they're lacing things with. They didn't even test for it. So anyway, for those of you who came in late, what we've been talking about is the fact that there's a person who was actually involved in this operation that has got enough dirt on people that they feel like they can come out and say something. And that is that the majority of drugs that are run through the Truckee area, Placer County, Nevada County, are being distributed by, well, it's the people behind it are Shannon Moon and Sam Brown. Yes, they receive the drugs there at the sheriff's office, and they're distributed from there. And this is the person who has firsthand knowledge of this. Yeah, basically for that area. Yeah, they're running the stuff up from Tijuana. They're running the drugs up from Tijuana up. They're coming up the I-5 corridor, and of course they split off and Sacramento and head out I-80, or they keep going north up to Portland, Seattle. And but the ones, for what this person said, is that Shannon Moon is basically the head honcho behind the drugs that are distributed in that area. So, I mean, it's not like they're not already making enough money. They're already, both of them are making, just in salary, making $300,000 a year. That's not enough though, apparently. But yeah, I do too. It goes bigger than that. That's the thing. We really don't know. We don't really know how deep this goes. This person only has information as to the local area. They're a local person, and so they don't know. Well, I can't tell you who told me that, because they're being I'm keeping them confidential. Now, I don't know if Xaname's involved with it or not, but it wouldn't surprise me. Definitely wouldn't surprise me that she was involved in it. But I think that's part of the reason that they tried to cover this up and sweep it away so quickly, is because they're not only covering the kids' butts, they're covering their own butts. But I don't know how many of the other officers for Nevada County, how many of the other deputies know what's going on. I mean, don't know if it's just a few people. The only people that I was told about specifically was Shannon Moon and Sam Brown. As far as anybody else knowing it, I don't know. It would just be a guess. Yeah, and then the FBI, and I also said too that they checked with the FBI regarding Nick, the service guy, the footage, and the FBI said it doesn't exist. Which that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It could mean that either Nick was lying to AWP, which I don't think so. I don't think he was. Well, I just got through saying it. And not break the case, but it's definitely a step toward that, because it just gives us more to operate on. And here's part of the strategy too, is the person who told me this said they thought if they came forward that it might give other people confidence that they can come forward with some stuff too. No, it's not purple. Well, there's purple now. Now it's blue. Now it's blue. Tara, I don't believe he was lying either. There was nothing about his behavior or his tone of voice or anything else that led me to believe that he was being untruthful. Yeah, well, yeah, I can't say how I verified the person, but because that would be revealing too much information that I promised them I wouldn't. But that's now to me, that's something that it just gives us one more tool to work with, and I think that it's eventually it's going to. Well, I was talking with somebody else. I was talking with another YouTuber today as well, and we were talking about that. Yeah, check it. And Tara, that's the exact same thing. Yeah, it could easily be. But the thing is, either one of three things: either Nick was lying to AWP, which I don't think, or the FBI was lying, which I think I would pick that one, or like Jared said, that as soon as the tow company found out about the footage, that they locked it up and maybe told the FBI that it didn't exist just for liability reasons. So I'm just reading the chat here. What's what you guys are saying? But anyway, that's what this person told me, and I have every reason to believe, and I can't tell you why. Well, Zanime, here's the thing. Zanime, I was involved somehow because Zanime was involved with Homeland Security. She was involved with the Cal Fires Project and one other thing that she and Robert Hembrecht worked very closely in. Their family's probably the most powerful family in the area. Zanime's got military connections. She's got Homeland Security connections. Well, I can't tell you how I verified it. If you don't believe me, don't. I don't care because I can't tell you how I verified it because it would be giving up information that I can't give up. So, if you don't want to believe it, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you what this person told me. I have every reason to believe them. You know, I don't take testimony flippantly. All right. I was too good at solving crimes when I was a cop to be somebody that just believes somebody just because they say something. So, well, whether it makes sense to you or not, I can't say any more about the source. So, if that doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to you, and I can't help that. Well, another thing too, you notice in Zanime's video when she took her kayak out down to the water, as she's going down there, she's making a straight line for the water. And then there's a little arrow drawn in the sand, which was actually where Kylie's vehicle was. And yeah, I know it, Irene. I know. It's like people, all the troll patrol. Yeah. So I mean, I can only tell you what I can tell you because of the problem. I'm not gonna reveal a source or anything that's gonna point a finger at them after they've been so kind to contact and and give me the information because we're gonna dive deeper into it. I'm just releasing it now. We're just beginning. It's like I haven't fully investigated everything that goes along with it. You know, so yeah. So okay. For one thing, I don't think that you guys understand how much this person's sticking their neck out and how much I'm sticking my neck out. If you can't appreciate that, then whatever. So, you know, you guys that want to talk crap, go ahead, you know. Now, why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us since you were involved with it? That's you right there. Why don't you tell us, Anime? Why don't you never have answered my question how that arrow got in the dirt? Yeah, she here. Yeah, like I said, who was it just said? The troll patrols, the trollers got to come try to cover their butt. Huh. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that stuff was laid out in a straight line, like the hairbrush would float the same distance as a heavier laptop. Uh, yeah, it's kind of funny. You start saying you got something, then you got them crawling out of the woodwork. Well, I think, oh no, Tony boy, he's probably as involved as anybody else. You know, I'm just having fun reading the chat here, people. I'm just watching. There ain't no misinformation here. Okay, then why don't you give us the real thing? You're always talking crap and saying I'm wrong. Well, why don't you fill us in? You're right here. Why don't you tell us? No, I haven't been working on that song, but I've had some things going through my mind. Yeah. Yeah. So Xanamir, are you helping them run the drugs? Are you? You in on that? Taking your cut? Yeah, you can tell us the truth here. Or whatever, your version of it anyway. From the weeds, huh? Oh, I think you know why she's here. Hmm. No, why don't you tell us? Do your research, my butt. Yeah, she always comes in here talking shit, and then or in the thing, and then she never, you know, all she can do is say, you got it wrong, but she never tells us what's right. You know, you got your chance, but you don't take it. So tells me you're full of shit. So drive-by troll. It's a drive-by trolling. That's a good one there, Amanda. That's pretty much right on. No, she always does that though. And anytime she's ever come, like in my comments or anything like that, she always comes in and says, "You don't know the truth. Why don't you do your research?" And maybe we've done our research. Yeah, it's live. Yeah, she probably already beat feet. Either that or she's hiding in the bushes. I guarantee you, she already knows what's going on. Yeah, yeah, I love it. Well, I don't think so, Dory. Otherwise, she wouldn't be coming in here trying to spout off with nothing to say. Oh, boy, yeah. Yeah, it's like I've given her every chance to say her piece, but she never does. All she says is that we're wrong and we don't know the truth. It's like, okay, and that's what I told her last night too. I said, "Well, tell us the truth." And then she says, "Oh, just go watch my chat with Morbid Reality." Yeah, right. Yeah, like that would be a truthful conversation. Oh, we have been, Mimi. She might be gone now. Who knows? She gonna go tattle now, though. I guarantee you. She's gonna go tattle now. And she's already gone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like was it Verna and Checkett came in here not last time, but a couple times ago. Yeah, Verna come in and then Checkett was right, not far behind. Like a little puppy dog. No, it's her. That's her screen name. That's her screen name. That is her screen name. It ain't somebody. It isn't somebody imitating her. Plus, she says the same thing every time. So it's, you know. Yeah, yeah. I just wish I had bigger shoes on. No, there was a couple that was talked about, but they were actually weren't. They were. If it's the couple, the only other couple I'm aware of was a couple that actually had been to the car show in Reno and they wrecked on the way home. They were on their way to Yuba City, apparently. Yeah, I mean, I've told her, say your piece, but she won't. Which was that tell you? All she can say is, you don't need to do your research. And then it's like, man, we've been doing our research, and guess what? It showed us. Verna was on Zav's panel, but she and Checkett are like bosom buds, and so is SF and Checkett. They're bosom buds. Well, I see. Notice I asked her. I said, I've asked her like 3 times now. I've asked her who drew that arrow in the dirt that you followed. In your video, who drew that arrow in the dirt? Well, she came in. Verna came in here too. She came in here, and she was basically fishing for information when she came in, and we just kind of shut her down. It's funny. Yeah, exactly, Heather. Exactly. 10-4. No, I don't see. I only pick up like the short comments because it's like the chat moves so fast. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Ryan already. you know? Yeah, they're all intertwined. Yeah, she was Kentucky girl. Yeah, she was, but I wasn't gonna give her the, you know. I'm only gonna let people on my panel that I trust. I'm not gonna let somebody get on there and start spouting off a bunch of crap, especially when I know her track record and everybody else. Yeah, well, Zanime was a Tony sub for what, 2 years or something, or what it was. So they're definitely all intertwined. And I think Zanime quit being a mod when after Ryan called her out, if I remember right. I may be wrong on that, but I'm just letting you guys comment here for a little bit. I'm enjoying reading it. It's some funny stuff. Go back to Ukraine. Oh yeah, and Zanime needs some extra money too because she brought, I think it was her mother and two sisters or something over from the Ukraine, so now she got to support them. So the extra money helps. Nah, I don't want to do that. I always read it later. Psychobubble. uh, no, this is too funny. You guys I'm getting a kick out of you guys' comments. Slip-ups. Yeah, something. I don't know. But I know she's got 3 relatives that she's having to take care of now. Uh, I would say if somebody subbed for me for a couple of years, we're pretty much in cahoots. I'd say we're probably pretty close. So I don't agree with that at all. That they're not, that just because she subbed for 2 years doesn't mean they're in cahoots. Bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. It could be some kind of trafficking ring, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anything to that, you know. Did she start a GoFundMe or are you just making a joke? It means we're in cahoots. Y'all in cahoots with me, We got this plot to take over the world. Just like, what was that dude from trying to think what that movie, that weird dude, that was like, God, I can't think what it's called. Well, because she wants to get him out of Ukraine because of all the crap going on over there, the war and all that. Oh yeah, I talk about I've already talked about, yeah, Diane, exactly. Um, I talked about rolling into Truckee with tanks and bazookas, but but then I also come up with a banner if we do have that concert and that celebration thing for Kylie. I already thought of a banner, just a big old banner that says "We got this." Well, yeah, she has. She's been in here, you know. She's been in U.S. military, and you know. Oh, yes, Joe Friday. We need Joe Friday. Just the facts, man. No, you know, see, people keep talking about gag orders. I think the only thing that they're gagging on is money, honestly, because you can't just issue a gag order just out of thin air. You've got to have either litigation going on or you have a civil trial or a criminal trial going on. That and the gag order is only for evidence that would compromise the ongoing litigation. If there is no ongoing litigation, the court has no right to issue any kind of gag order. So people saying, "Oh, they got a gag order." No, they ain't got no gag order. They just don't want to. They don't want to lose money. They don't want to, rat on this law enforcement agency and then, chance other law enforcement agencies not enlisting their services. So that's to me, that's what the whole thing's about. It has nothing to do with the gag order or anything else. Cease and desist for what? I mean, you got to have a legal grounds to do that. Again, the cease and desist order is the same thing as a gag order. It's got to have a court order based on ongoing litigation to be able to put something like that out. Or if it's a harassment issue, but being able to release footage that's your own possession, that's a First Amendment right. All right, it's not. There's nothing to do with, you know. Well, she doesn't live. She doesn't live in Roseville. She lives in San Pedro. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but I think it's the same basic Sacramento area, isn't it? But I know she lives in San Pedro. Oh, did she, Manx? I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't have any idea where Richmond is. I know where Richmond, Virginia is. Oregonian, right next door. I worked for Oregon State Police in Medford for quite a while. Also lived in Coos Bay for a while. Yeah, Lily Tomlin. Yeah, I hear that. And that's the truth. Oh, is it San Pablo? Okay, I thought it was San Pedro. I knew it was San P something. Yeah, I got out of Medford when it started growing. I'm talking to everybody. I'm just talking to whatever short ones pop up in front of me. No, actually, I think she does speak 5 languages, but it's obvious English isn't her first language. Yeah, I agree, Irene. She does seem like a fixer. She's damage control. Yep, the cleanup crew. Yep. I I think Check-It was too, in some form. Although, you know, I mean, to be honest with you, I think Check-It acted kind of goofy, just so he could get away with putting his fingerprints all over the finger all over her laptop and everything else, which of course completely destroys the chain of evidence, so it can't be used in court. So to me, that was intentional. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's grabbed it, and then he's and the thing that got me. All right, Mrs. Kelly, have a good one. The thing about that got me with um that video where Checkett's giving the laptop to the grandpa and stuff, it's like, why didn't that cop? If that was me out there, and I saw that he did that, I'd be chewing his ass up one side down the other. You know, I mean, I'd be chewing him a new one, because it's like, you don't do that. The cops just kind of like, you know. Yeah, yeah. I can just see my parents cleaning up my messes. They'd be marching my butt out there, and they wouldn't let me leave until it was cleaned up. They wouldn't be out there going out there. Number one, they wouldn't let me go to the party in the first place. They just wouldn't. When I was 16 years old, no, there's no way they'd let me go to a party. But anyway, that's really all I had to talk about tonight. Is that what I've already talked about? And like I said, it's just the beginning of us looking into it. There's still a lot of things that we're looking at and trying to piece together, but this is one more step as to what may have caused them to cover this up so much. I just think it's more than just covering up for the kids. you know oh, there's money in Truckee too. You seen the price of real estate down there? Yeah, that's another thing too, Diane, is that what's a 38-year-old guy doing hanging out with a bunch of teeny boppers? That's just weird, because Checkett's 38 years old. You got no business. He got no business being there with a bunch of kids. Thank you, Justice A to Z. I tried doing another version of it today, but I screwed it up. So I'll wait and try it again tomorrow. I was gonna do it with the guitar. All right, thank you, Esther. Oh, there she is. There she is, the queen of emoticons. How you doing, Jacqueline? Yeah, I got somebody wants me to write a song called "Slip Up, Sammy." But well, a lot of people think that one of the reasons that Jagger moved in with Lindsay's because they got something going on. I don't know. That's what the locals think. That's what I've had several people tell me that. So I I wouldn't argue against it. I don't know. It's just hearsay. But uh, somebody said something. Hang on, let me scroll back up. Somebody asked me a question about to be the TCC. I don't. I don't. I'm acronym challenged. What is TCC? I don't think AWP switched up their story. They just they're not. You know, they're not coming out with what they said they were going to come out with. But it's on them, I guess. Yeah, that one video that I did about Lindsay, she's just like, you know. No, he's a respiratory therapist. He's not a doctor. Oh, okay. Hey, they want to make it. They want to make it the theme song or whatever. That's fine. Yeah, I think that, like Doug said, kind of got in a fight with whoever it was that he said, which I think we all know who he was saying in that, and that's when everybody scattered. Available for hire for what? Who needs a doctor? What do I got in that bottle? Purified water. Nothing else added. No, that's the thing that bothered me from the very beginning was that Lindsay. Have we yet to see her shed a tear? I never did. Yeah, Truckee water. No, 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 no Truckee water. I wouldn't want to drink the water there. No, no salt. No, no, not seawater. You don't be drinking salt water unless you want to be sitting on the toilet the rest of the day. There, my ex-wife and I, we used to take our dogs and they would like drink the seawater. We try to get them to not do it, but yeah, it was not a good result. Just saying. No, it's yeah, it's fresh water, but it's fresh salt water. Give you the trots. Yeah, yeah. That's it. Was it? I think it was Dory. She said something about. She goes, "I can't wait for tonight. I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the day up until then." And I replied back to her. I go, I replied. I said, "Call your mom. Take up a hobby. Take a waka." Yeah, it's healing on sores, but you drink it. No, a respiratory therapist is not a doctor. Trust me. I used to work for a medical outfit, and I worked with respiratory therapists. They're a far cry from a doctor. They they're trained in that respiratory therapy only. They're not trained to be a medical physician. No, respiratory therapist is not a doctor. You only have to go to 2 years of school to be a respiratory therapist. You have to go many, many more years to be a doctor. Yeah, they hope this is the most difficult time of our lives. That Freudian slip? Yeah, it was like when she said that, I was just like, huh? What? Live mermaid. Oh man. Yeah, and see, that's the thing too. Why do they come out with a Photoshop picture of Sammy at some store? Yeah, the cops released. So what does that tell you? Photoshop picture that's not even her, not even Kylie. That right there should tell us something. Why would you come out with a fake picture? But anyway, well, I think it should pay a lot more than 16 an hour. Crap. Well, I'm in communication with probably 7 or 8 people from Truckee on a regular basis, and they all tell me the same thing that they don't want to come forward. They'll tell stuff behind the scenes, let us know what's going on, and there's several of us who are in contact with people in Truckee. You know, so well, okay. What we recapped is what I talked about earlier. Is that the person who gave me information has been directly involved with this in the past, knows what's going on, and they said that the majority of the drugs are actually being distributed through Nevada County Sheriff's Office, through the jail. That they're coming into the jail, and not everybody's involved. She said that Shannon Moon is involved, um, Sam Brown, and of course he's the one that's over the jail. So, and that the drugs are coming up from Mexico and going to the jail and being distributed from there. Nope, they don't want to hear about murders in Truckee. That's why they haven't reported any. That's why it's very convenient to just sweep them under the carpet and call them accidents. That way you don't have any murders listed on your UCRs when you send them in. They should arrest themselves. Yeah. Here, put these handcuffs on yourself. I don't want to touch you. Why wouldn't would you want to come forward if you were in fear for your life? I mean, that's pretty cut and dry there. Pretty simple question and answer. Yeah, cover up. That was like cover up. Well, I mean, it was so funny too because the other cops were all like, like you just ratted us out. It was so funny. The reaction on their face said everything. It was so funny. I agree. You learn a lot from the chats because it's funny because I watch the comments you guys are making. And you guys are making a lot of good ones. And but then you can always tell when it's a troll, right? they're not big enough to have internal affairs. You only see that in the very big departments. And besides that, would you expect the internal affairs to be any more honest than the rest of the department? No. No. I wouldn't trust their internal affairs any more than I'd trust the rest of them. Might not be related to the Donner family. Yeah, especially back then when they got stuck in the snow. Grandpa's looking mighty tasty. All right, Mandalay, have a good one. I haven't really looked into the Singh family yet. I just watched a couple of videos today. I kind of heard the names, but I hadn't really, I've been focused on the Kylie stuff and really haven't looked outside that. But I'm going to start looking into that starting tomorrow. So I started. I don't think Jagger has a blue van. He has a it's an SUV, but somebody might see it as a van. Yeah, I did. When it was intentional. He went in and just totally destroyed the chain of evidence. He knew what he was doing. I don't know, but Jagger looks. I shouldn't say anything, but he just looks like a little twerp. Well, the picture at the truck stop was actually of Sammy, I believe. But well, considering the FBI said that the footage that Nick talked about didn't exist, I have a tendency to think they're lying. That's just my gut feeling on it. Yeah, I've seen the Taco Trucking Media channel. They got all of their comments disabled because I was going to make a few. I look and go, comments disabled for this channel. It's like, oh, you chickens. Oh, it's funny. I saw that and I'm like, man, yeah, you guys, you don't got, because they probably were getting blasted, to be honest with you. And so they probably disabled comments because so many people were blasting them. Yeah, you bunch of murderers over there. I don't know. I hadn't seen the channel before, so I don't know if there's any comments or not. But I would kind of just take a wild guess and think that yeah, the area is very beautiful. That whole area there. Of course, to me, anywhere in the mountains is pretty. I mean, it's like we've got places here in Idaho that are just beautiful. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. And then Western Oregon is even prettier. It is just so green. And yeah, I've been watching. In fact, I messaged him today. We're going to get together on Tuesday, Living Lake time. We're going to get together Tuesday and talk. And we're going to, he and I, and probably a couple other ones that we're going to try to collaborate with and try to shake things down, because Kentucky Girl, I've always thought he was. He just, the thing I don't like about Jagger twerp. The thing I don't like about him is he run his mouth or fingers, and he's like trash talking everybody and talking crap, and then turns around and is, "Woe is me, everybody's picking on me." Well, shut your mouth. You know, it's like you got and start calling people out and calling people clout chasers and saying all the crap that he was saying about all of us. You know that and then he turns around and complains and starts whining because he's getting picked on. You know. Yeah, I've actually got somebody sent me a picture of Jagger's car, Jagger's vehicle with the license plate and stuff like that, and it's blue, but it's an SUV. Yeah, they'd be able to. I mean, it'd be like looking if you were above the car. It'd be like looking at the bottom of a swimming pool. It wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be hard to see. Hi, Michelle. Now, Michelle, I'll catch up real quick. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. But basically, I have a source that was involved in an operation and no longer involved in it, but is saying that Shannon Moon and Sam Brown are basically running a drug operation out of the jail. That they're getting drugs up from Mexico, from Tijuana, coming up I-5, across I-80, and they are receiving the drugs at the jail and distributing them from there, and have been doing it for a while. So that was the main thing. So we're looking into that. We really haven't. I just got the information today and really have just kind of started looking at it. Really haven't investigated it fully, but what we're hoping, and that's what this person that gave me the information is hoping, is that them coming out with this might encourage other people to start coming forward and talking, because really, the way I see it, that's really the only way that we're going to break this wide open, is if somebody comes forward and talks, and somebody comes forward and actually says what happened to Kylie at that party, that comes forward and starts giving other information. And here's the thing: the person that gave me that information has waited weeks, and I guess this person has been watching different crime channels and stuff like that, and was looking for somebody that they trusted. I'm not saying I'm more trustworthy than a lot of you guys out there, but anyway, I got picked. Pick me. But so anyway, Prosser gang. Yeah, I don't think we're going to Truckee. I think we're going to have it somewhere else after the things that, because we don't know how deep this goes in there. And so what I was kind of thinking was maybe picking an area to have the concert and everything, picking an area that's like more centrally located so people wouldn't have to go clear to California, you know. Um anyway, we'll talk it over and stuff. After what I learned today, I just don't really think it. I mean, I don't want. you know, I just don't want. I don't want to do anything stupid. You know. Um, who's Jagger related to? His dad. No, no, I don't plan on going to Truckee. No, I don't. I just don't think that would be a good idea right now, especially coming out here and talking about this stuff, and you know, and oh, and for those of you who are just coming in, we did have a visitor a little bit earlier. Speaking as anime, but again, she I gave her a chance to speak, and she wouldn't. The only thing she'd say is, "You guys don't know. You guys haven't done your research." Same thing she says every time, but she never corrects what we're saying. You know, all she says is, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. You guys don't know the truth." Okay, and I said, "Well, tell us the truth." And I've told her the same thing every time she's come in or made comments on any of my videos. You know, told her, "Well, you tell us." Hi, Carrie. Now, we've been going for a couple hours. I'm about ready to get off here because you know, I don't really. I mean, I'll keep the replay up so you can watch the replay, because otherwise we could keep going over and over and over the same things all night. So yes, all right. Yeah, he's not halfway down the hill. Yeah, it's kind of hard to shine something reflective though if you're already dead when you go in the water. But just saying. Thank you, Ashley. Mrs. G. I'd pay money to watch that. Hunger Games. Yeah, they did like a sting in Polk County, Florida. Yeah, there was a lot of law enforcement involved in that, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of crooked cops out there. Song Whisperer, you got that exactly right. And you know they're making money off that, you know. So in fact, that was the big corruption thing they had at the, I don't remember if it was Folsom or where it was, somewhere that they had a big prison blow up that one of the other people was telling me about that I email with, you know. Yeah, resort towns are always plus resort towns tend to, I mean, they attract good people too, but for the most part resort towns attract, at least the ones that I've ever been around. The Exorcist at that party, yeah. Yeah, of course, you know, them saying to me when they said that they cleared Jagger, that didn't mean a thing to me coming from them. So, yeah. Well, no, it's not necessarily illegal. I mean, you may have witnessed something, but you don't, you know, it's kind of a fine line sometimes. You can actually be in trouble for impeding an investigation. Um, yeah, they arrest people for no reason. That was that Michael Moore movie or the documentary? No, I'm not going Kentucky Girl. Yeah, that picture was not of Kylie. It's nothing matched. Yeah, I haven't seen. You guys mentioned these movies. I don't ever watch movies, so I don't. It's like a lot of this movies and stuff that you guys mentioned. Is like I have no idea because I don't really watch movies. Yeah, but I think it's kind of funny that when we have this announcement for this live tonight, that Zenime makes sure and shows up. What is it? I mean, to me, that is very telling. What's her name here? Mud. uh, yeah, it's Susie Goodwin. I like that. I like that. I like that. Get arrested in Truckee for an offensive song, but murder is fine. That's what. Yeah. You should have that's another banner we could put at one end of town. Welcome to Truckee, where we can kill you and nobody cares. Skeletons don't shrink. No, no, no. Well, I guess it would depend as far as withholding information. It, like I said, it's a fine line. Um, I mean, number one, for one thing, you have to prove that the person had the information. If they don't talk, you're not going to prove they had the information. Now, if they go around spouting to everybody that, I saw this, I saw that, and then the cops bring them in to question them, and they don't, then they could, potentially be arrested for impeding an investigation. But generally, if a person saw something, they don't tell anybody and they keep it to themselves. How do you prove that they knew it? If they go, like I said, if they go around blabbing it to everybody, then that's like proof, proof right there. So anyway, folks, I'm gonna get off here and probably head to bed here pretty quick. I go to bed early because I get up early, not necessarily by choice, but my body likes to get up like 4 or 5 in the morning. So if I ever get any sleep, I got to go to bed by 9 or 10. So ex-husband was a great liar too. Aren't most ex-husbands and ex-wives? Uh, yeah, actually, I know some people who have actually. Nick has a Facebook page, and I know some people who have actually messaged him and asked him, "Was there really a video?" And of course, he hasn't responded to anybody. So we'll see if he responds. If he does, I'll let you guys know. Because I know that the people who are messaging him will tell me. If he responds. Oh, I end up ruffling hers every time though, because she comes in here and starts spouting that stuff off and just makes me laugh. She doesn't ruffle my feathers. But she thinks she might, but she doesn't. Zen- Xanamedian. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's funny right there. Oh yeah. So anyway, all right, people. I'm gonna get off here and yeah, Wayne Wu. I just don't see how he's in a position that he's in after what he did. I just don't get it. Only in that area would you have somebody that's sleeping with a underage chick. Anyway. All right, my dog's looking at me because he gets a biscuit. He gets a biscuit when it's time to go to bed, and so he's looking at me like, dude, it's biscuit time. So we have a routine where he goes outside and goes to the bathroom, and then he comes back in, he gets his biscuit, and go to bed. So anyway, folks, I told you everything that I had for you tonight, and we're still looking into some stuff. And yeah, dog's name is Copper, and I didn't name him, so it isn't because I was a cop. That was his name. I got him from a shelter. So he heard his name now, and now he's looking at me. What? Biscuit. So, oh, he's got an internal clock like you wouldn't believe. I tell you what, when it's even close to dinner time, he's like coming up to me and he'll come up and nuzzle my leg with his nose and be like, hey, 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 it's time to eat, dude. Oh, he heard me say that. He knows what EAT means. No, you already had it. Yeah, you don't get a second dinner, dude. So, all righty. We'll talk to you later, people. Have a good one.